Amber is a city from a series of books by fantasy sci-fi writer Roger Zelazny. It is supposedly the greatest city that has ever or will ever exist. It houses a huge royal family who are all immortal and have superpowers that allow them to travel through dimensions, known as shadows. Amber, then, is the city at the center of this multiverse. It represents a power node of stability and order in a sea of chaos. In late February 2011, after accidentally deleting my first world in Minecraft, I set out to build something epic. I decided to construct Amber, the immortal city. When I began the project, I simply started building, specifically a church. I had no plan and had done very little research, as I had previously thought that since there were very few descriptions of Amber itself in the books, that I could simply build straight from my imagination, and it would come out looking halfway decent. And it did. But progression was slow. I was only one man and I was working from a crappy laptop with about 10 FPS. I'd also set out to make a texture pack to fit the theme of Amber. Around June, I got in touch with a friend who owned a Minecraft server and asked him if he could host Amber on it. He agreed and I was able to show Amber off to my friends for the first time. We built a villa house on top of the palace, which we did a time-lapse video of as well. After that, I bought a new PC and was able to run my own server. I'd finished the Grand Hall of Amber and was working on furnishing the palace. This took most of the time. In fact, I spent most of the summer furnishing that palace. When I was finally done, I began on the city, and shortly realized that if I were to keep any form of sanity, then I would need help in this task. So I got in touch with Sanakan, who I'd done a server tour of a few months before, and asked him if he could host Amber, and if they would be interested in helping me. They agreed, and Amber got some interest. Shortly after that, one of the admins, Quasi, spoke to me about the design, the use of materials, and the general look of the palace. Simply put, he didn't like it very much. And when we got talking, I admitted that I didn't have a plan, and I never had. That, strictly speaking, the Church of the Unicorn in front of the palace that I'd built shouldn't even exist. It's never mentioned. And honestly, I don't quite know why I'd built it in the first place. After a long time considering these facts, I decided that Amber was not Amber. That what I had created was good but not good enough, that it was a castle, and a damn impressive one, but that it was not the castle of Amber. And I knew that I could do better, but I also knew that it would take longer to try and fix what I'd done wrong than to simply start again. So me and Quasi, one evening, tore down Amber. We destroyed the whole thing, the last 6 months of my life, gone in about 2 hours. And it was the most satisfying thing I'd ever done, because I knew that this time around, we would build it right. Then I had to come up with a plan. I'd spent several weeks reading through the books for little bits of descriptions, and researching what other people might have come up with on old forums about the look of Amber. While I was doing this, Quasi and I, and a couple of others on Sanakan's server, built a stadium in Amber. Now my time on Sanakan's server is up. The map size was causing a lot of lag, so he was forced to remove it. But Quasi offered to buy a server just for Amber, I suppose as a symbol of his dedication to the project. This time I have a plan. I have people helping me. Our team is currently about 6 big, and progression has been faster than it ever has been before. Next time, I'll give a tour of the stadium and the other sections of the city which have been built so far, and I'll introduce the team formally. The idea this time is to document a lot more of the construction, as up until now I've only had screenshots and the project has been very private. Thank you very much for watching. My name has been Sir Aaron, and I'll see you next time.